Oh, wow. Hearing this still shocks me, you know? Stories like this remind me of the time I was totally obsessed with the entertainment world. Back then, I loved sneaking peeks at celebrity gossip on social media, like it was part of my daily routine. I remember following the story of this famous artist whose life flipped from the peak to rock bottom because of leaked personal issues. It felt like watching a drama series, but when it's real news, it's not just entertainment. It affects real people's lives. Sometimes I can't help but wonder if something like this happened to someone close to us, how would we handle it? Try imagining with me. If you've ever admired an artist and suddenly scandalous news pops up that shatters their image, it must be heartbreaking, right? Seeing this makes me want to dig deeper to find out what lessons are hidden there. Because in this industry, it's full of glamorous lights and colors, but behind the scenes, there might be unexpected shadows. Hmm. Or have you ever had a similar experience, like following gossip and feeling it's too close to home? I think that's the charm of this kind of news. It makes us feel connected, but also reminds us to be cautious. Today, I'm going to tell you about a big story that's buzzing in the international entertainment scene, about a famous hip hop artist whose life turned upside down unexpectedly. It's got drama, courtroom battles, and conclusions that make you think. Let's see how juicy it gets. I promise to tell it in detail, but mix with my personal views to make it fun and informative at the same time. Some people might think celeb life is all luxury, but this story will show you another side. And resources to cover up these behaviors, allowing them to continue undetected for so long. The judge also mentioned a history of drug use that might have escalated the violence, but this sentence is only for the convicted charges, not including the sex trafficking and racketeering charges he was acquitted of. I find it reminiscent of a complex plot game, like in a video game where the main character faces punishment for wrong choices. But real life is harsher because it affects real victims like Cassie Ventura, his ex-girlfriend mentioned in court. Diddy even apologized to her in front of the court, saying he regrets it and apologizes to her family too. Another victim, called Jane, gave credible testimony about being assaulted in previous years, making the judge unsure if Diddy wouldn't reoffend if released too soon. From my perspective, this verdict went beyond what the defense team expected. They asked for just 14 months, including time already served, but the prosecution wanted up to 11 years. The judge chose a middle path, but emphasized sending a signal about responsibility, especially toward women's abuse. I feel it's a big lesson for the entertainment industry, where we often overlook the behind the scenes of success. Diddy's lawyer team, like Brian Steele, said it's a verdict that's not American and they'll definitely appeal because they believe the judge considered acquitted charges in it. Laura Coates, a legal analyst from CNN, said every part of the verdict will be scrutinized in detail during the appeal. I believe if the appeal succeeds, it could turn the game around. But if not, it means Diddy has to really adapt in prison. Looking deeper, I see that this case heavily impacts the American hip-hop and entertainment scene. It exposes issues of power abuse in an industry full of money and fame. Victims like Cassie and Jane received praise from the judge for enduring pain that ordinary people can't imagine, and speaking out lets the world know. Cassie's lawyer, Doug Wigdor, said the wounds from Diddy can't be fixed, but hopes the verdict helps other silent victims. I think it's like a Greek myth where a hero faces punishment for arrogance. But in real life, it prompts us to ask how the justice system handles the wealthy. From social media reactions, some say the sentence is too light, like a slap on the wrist, while others see it as showing injustice in the system, especially for people of color. I agree it's thought-provoking, like food that looks delicious but has complex ingredients. If you've encountered news like this, what do you think about this sentence? Is it satisfying or still too lenient? Expanding the view broader, this case connects from the local level in America to the regional level, affecting the global music industry, because Diddy is an icon who inspired many artists. But now, it might lead to changes, like stricter checks on party behaviors and contracts. I envision a future where the entertainment industry emphasizes ethics more to prevent repeats. In the next 12 to 18 months, if the appeal fails, Diddy might have to adjust in prison while victims could get more justice from ongoing Silo cases. Alternative scenarios? If the appeal wins, he might rebuild a new empire but with a changed image. Or if it fails, it could be the end of an old era in hip-hop. I feel it's reminiscent of history where leaders fall due to personal mistakes. Personally, this story makes me reflect on the time I was involved in community activities against violence, especially on social media where news like this spreads fast. I once helped share campaigns supporting victims, showing how powerful speaking out is. I believe if we join together, it can help build a better society. Some of you probably understand why I'm so eager about this. It's not just gossip, but something that affects all of us. In summary, Diddy's case is an expensive lesson that warns everyone in the entertainment industry. I hope it leads to better changes, like more protection for victims and responsible use of power. If you have additional views, try sharing on X. I'd love to know what everyone thinks about this. It might spark new ideas. For me, it's like the experience when I joined a cultural festival and saw that some things behind the scenes aren't as beautiful as thought. But in the end, we learn and move forward. Goodbye.